Introduction. Everybody, at some point in their life, must look back and wonder what they did with it. Did they do all the things they planned to do? Did they see all the places they wanted to see? I was 40 years old when I found myself in that position. Not a great age, I know, for reflecting on your life's achievements, but that's because I was a wrestler, and in wrestling, depending on how dedicated you are to the job, careers don't last forever. All I ever wanted was to be the best wrestler I could be. I wasn't interested in gimmicks, or being a great talker. I wanted to be remembered for my ability in the ring. That was my ambition. And it's true what they say about wrestling, it is a hard business, whether you're at the bottom, trying to make a name for yourself, or at the top, watching the guys at the bottom trying to knock you off your spot. You had to be on form, delivering the goods, every single night. And when pro wrestling became big business, you more or less devoted your entire life to it. It didn't matter whether you were married, or whether you had kids, your job came first. The hours were lousy, the money was never guaranteed, in America at least, and injury was always a worrying possibility, sometimes, a terrible reality. But as you can imagine, wrestling had its advantages as well, and they more than made up for the disadvantages. For example, I traveled the world, and never paid a penny for the airfares. National television exposure turned wrestlers into celebrities. When I became a WWF World Tag Team Champion, they even put me in Playboy magazine. And when business was good, which, I'll admit, with the bigger promotions, most of the time it was, the money, and the lifestyle that came with it were great. At the time, while you are enjoying all that fame and the fortune, you fool yourself into thinking that it's never going to end. But it does. And as hard as it is being in the wrestling business, take it from me, when you are out of it, it can be a lot harder. While I probably achieved more than a lot of wrestlers, I'm sure I lost a lot more than most, too. By the time I left the wrestling business, I'd been a world champion, twice over, worked for 3 of the biggest promotions in the world, wrestled some of the biggest names in the business, and become a millionaire, on paper at least. I probably packed more into my 16 years in the ring than most people manage in a lifetime, but I walked away from it with nothing. So, at the age of 40, I found myself with nothing better to do than look back and wonder what I did achieve, and where those years all went. There I was, one minute, a young kid, lacing up my boots ready for the biggest adventure of my life, and the next, hanging those boots up for the last time. Really, that's how fast it went. As for what happened in between, well, as I recall, it went something like this.